In this corner, I got to put these shades on. Go ahead, go on. Buddy.
Finally broke one because we were there when they were.
Can you hear me? Attention, please. On behalf of the Gallery Museum, I am proud to be here to help sponsor this reception for our 1996 baseball champions. This reception is being live streamed because Brent Williams is in Korea and has asked if it could be streamed so he could watch it. So thank you very much to Jeff Collins for setting this up, and to the Canton-Galva broadcasting team for doing it for us. And Brent, thank you for serving our country. In order to understand the significance of this championship, I think it's important to know a little bit of the background. Canton-Galva schools consolidated in 1972-73. 1990, there was still no baseball. So Kelly Nelson and Dennis Head went to the school board to see about getting baseball. And they voted in July of 90, yes, they could have baseball, if they could find teams to play and a coach. So I know Kelly went around to different schools talking to them to see if they could play us or would play us. I don't know how Joe got hired as the coach.
Just lucky, Joe.
His good looks.
So the 1991 is the first year we had baseball. The 92, 93, 94 seasons went on as expected. At 95, no baseball team. Players might remember that. And
We didn't have enough time.
didn't have enough sign up, so the season was kept. So after not having in 95, in 1996 they took state. And to me that is just miraculous that they could do it and not having a season before. But it shows that we had really good players and good coaches. Players? Okay. Now this banner has another story behind it. And I was just talking to some, for many years nobody thought there was a banner. And I know that after the boys won the state championship in football in 2019, Shelby Hobbs has said, brother of Zach, if the baseball banner doesn't get put up, the football banner doesn't go up. And Larry Potter, our new AD, came, I don't know, in May or June? In May. By June, he had found this banner in a box, in a closet, in a classroom, with a bunch of other old banners. And so I'm really thankful that they allowed us to have it and the trophy here today. Thank you, too, for making that possible. Now, time for our team to come up. Galva Eagles on their feet as they come forward. We need to use the mic. We need to use the mic because it's being recorded and it'll pick it up that way. But now I would like the coaches and the players to talk about the game, introduce yourselves, say anything that you remember.
Hey, Luke, tell them about your phone.
You gotta talk to the mic.
They're the same more or less. I don't need that. Can you hear me?
You guys remember when Aaron hit a home run, or it just barely went foul. And then the coach went out there and talked to officials. He said, don't tell him anything. Don't, every next pitch Aaron hit over the scoreboard.
And if you hear the birds, Yeah, smoking.
Yeah.
They had peacocks. It was at Soden's Grove, and they had peacocks back there. You could hear them during the games smoking. If you hit a home run in the right spot, you really heard the smoke.
Well, I think the most memorable part of this team was our love more hate relationship with Salina Sacred Heart. And we played them in the last triangular of the season. And Joe didn't abide by the rules. But the fact is they thought that that was going to be the end of us when Aaron was suspended, and then they didn't even win their regional game to get to play us again, who would beat them anyways. But then we got to beat Chase County to go on to the state tournament, so I'm glad that backfired on Sacred Heart.
Who was the pitcher?
Yeah, Tony Canton-Galva.
Who was the pitcher?
I pitched second. I think since we're the only ones here, we can make fun of those who aren't. Steve Sell called me earlier this week and started talking about the football team. And I was like, well, you know, I'm not the head coach anymore. I thought he was going to ask me. It's like, Shelby can handle that. And he said, no, I'm really calling you to ask about this reception that's coming up. And he's like, I asked Bo Peterson, and he said he didn't remember anything. And he said, so I asked Pat, and he said he remembered very little, but go ask Zach. He'll be the one that can tell you about everything from it. And so I filled him in, and I said, if you really want to ask somebody else, you could ask Louis Morgan. He'd probably tell you too, but he could help you out. Following on.
You guys remember during the season when we gave out the thought signal?
Yeah.
Home run. Try to figure the one signal when we had a home run.
What do we call him?
Kangaroo.
No, and Jack, you got to get up here. You got more stories than me. Tell him about the right field in the council room. And you got more than that, too.
All right, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Jack Pavlovich. I was the principal, and that's the only reason that I'm here. And principal at the time that they won the state. Several of the things that these guys were talking about were exactly what I was going to say, so I might have to cut mine a lot shorter than I thought. Okay, then I'll tell a story. Cubby's not here. Craig Hutchinson is not here, but we were at Mission Valley, I think is the name of the school. Right field had no fence. Left field had a building. A playground.
Yeah.
Center field was non-existent. I mean, it was that kind of a field. Nothing wrong with that. Of course, that's the way that things were back then. And Craig Runner good infield too. Craig Runner, that's right. Well, Cubby was warming up Aaron on a little mound, and something had happened on the field. Again, Craig Cubby. And Aaron threw his last warm-up pitch. Cubby was looking at what was going on the field. He got hit by a 90-plus mile hour ball, either in the throat or so near the throat. And I kept on swearing that nobody else had seen that. So Aaron runs out onto the field. Cubby runs into the bus. I go to the bus, and I've never seen anybody cry so hard in my life. He was bawling. And I said, is everything all right? We need ice, you know, all the kind of things that adults are supposed to say. And he had the strings on his throat and chest. That's how hard he got hit. And I wish he were here, because the other story about Cubby and Joe, we were in one of those triangulars that they were talking about, and a kid from Sacred Heart, I believe, threw dirt in Cubby's face. Joe called a timeout, and I thought, oh my God, Joe is going to rip him just a new face. It ended up that he yelled at Cubby for not throwing a punch at the kid. Another story about Joe. And again, as a principal, you hear these things, but choose not to do anything. Something about a bull snake and the girls softball team. Somebody, two of them. Somebody, there you go. Okay, continue. Well, Joe ended up throwing these two bull snakes into the girls' softball practice, and you can imagine what the resounding noise was, but you probably can't understand what they said, what the coach said the next morning in my office about how we should get rid of a baseball coach. And the toughest part of that was not laughing. I have to admit it. I thought it was funny, it was hilarious, at least to me. Other stories. Well, I already told the one. One of the things that Joe didn't get with the foul ball, supposed foul ball home run with all the peacocks and everything screaming, was the umpire. Now, most, if not all of you know Chuck Ellsworth. And Chuck is a man of few words, but by God, you better listen. And Chuck went to the official, not that official, not in that game, but he went to the official and he asked him what his strike zone was. And the umpire said to Joe, if he's that good, he ought to hit a smaller zone. I think there was some inappropriate language at that particular time, and not by just one person, I think just about everybody. Another thing that you guys may or may not remember, in the state championship games, you had radio stations, and you also had a broadcaster in, I lost his name.
He's there.
No, this isn't a legit broadcast.
Oh.
I know Trevor Krieg was one of them that was helping to announce the game, and they sat behind Steve Self. And also came from a person for Justin Bolton. Now, if you listen real carefully to the tape that's around, you might just hear some also inappropriate language. And but everybody in that particular time supported the team like you would not believe. This guy here in the semifinal game, one of the games he had to race back to Wichita so that he could state track meet. And I don't remember what happened in the state track. And so, you have multiple sport athletes. Lyle, I'm sorry, I can't tell a story about Lyle. I don't think I ever heard him say a word. But I do remember seeing a picture of Lyle jumping up in the air after we won state, and I think he said, Yahoo. Okay, now, getting back to the stuff that I thought that I had planned, there are people here that really need recognition. Certainly the Board of Education for allowing us to go through that time. And then I seriously, and I was talking to Joe about this a while back, talking to somebody else, I seriously don't remember asking the board if we were going to play baseball. I know we had to in order to get the approval, but it just happened. But it didn't just happen. Chuck and Mr. Hoppus and Mr. Nelson, they take trips to Oklahoma to get dirt to put on the field. Not only did they take trips to Oklahoma to get dirt, but they also built pitchers' mounds for kids during basketball season. They also spent hours and hours resodding the baseball field so that we had an opportunity to play games. And there's also another person and guys, thank you. I truly appreciate the opportunity to have been able to work with you. Whether it was moving fans and whatever happened after the fans were moved into, you guys came over to my house afterwards to let me know what was going on. Or if it was, like I said, working their tails off just to make sure these kids had a chance. Mike Bergen may or may not remember Mike, when we told you, or when we said we were going to have a baseball team, and we were going to have a schedule, we said to our athletic director at the time, Mike, build a schedule. Boy, he did. He really went out of his way. Triangulars, if you don't know what that is, there are 3 teams, and you only get to play 2 games, so you kind of rotate and split around. That's the Tony Canton-Galva story. But still, he worked out a schedule so these guys had a chance to do everything that they did for their community, for their school, and certainly for themselves. That, you can't forget the fact that these guys actually did win after not having anything for a little while. So thank you to Chuck and Mark, Kelly. God, you guys did a wonderful job. And Mike Bergen for setting it up. Board of Education, you did the right thing. If you were a board member, you seriously did the right thing. Other little quick stories. I told you I wasn't going to talk. When, and they're all legit. I'm not making up one yet. Or have I made up one yet? I was talking to Luke about football. Well, you know, this isn't a football, but you watch how these guys participated with each other, getting Joe and Lyle to put things together for a baseball season. All the adults that got into this, you guys do deserve recognition. You look so damn much older. And those of you that have daughters, good luck. Those of you that are, you know, in the bowling alley business, for example, have a ball. But very seriously, I appreciate the opportunity to recognize people for doing what they really love to do. And you could tell that baseball in the 1950s and 1960s really paid off because their parents were the ones that really made them pursue whatever it was they wanted to pursue playing baseball. They had the skills, they had the tools, they had the coaches, and they had the field. And they had a principal that could PS with just about everything. So thank you very much. Anybody else want to say anything that's worthwhile or
One thing, the snakes.
I was going to say, I'll tell the snake story.
You never did say a word to me about the snakes that the softball coach, she didn't like that.
let me tell us. Between Jack and Joe, you may or may not know that their kids ended up marrying each other. There was another snake found that was not a bull snake in center field, and it got brought up to the pitcher's mound during practice one day, and we asked Joe about it, and all his comment was, well, I know my daughter's never seen one that big. And then I'll tell another statute of limitations story, so hopefully nobody can get fired at this point. We may or may not have dabbled in chewing tobacco after our state championship victory. And poor Kelsey Helms, who is also not here, had never had any before. I remember that. And he picked a bad time to try an awful lot of it. And so not only were we breaking rules by doing this, but then we had to hide the fact that Kelsey had filled up half a 5-gallon bucket with vomit in the back of the school. So, sorry.
One more thing, Jack, tell him about Josh never using his glove.
oh,
Josh never using his ball.
you don't know that?
Catch him.
You don't remember that story?
Josh, you didn't catch anything with your glove. He didn't care in his mouth. Whatever. He was one tough SOB right there.
And we just pick it up and we got it.
Well,
And certainly I think we have Joe to thank for that toughness. I'll always remember when Joe was upset that some of us weren't standing in and taking pitches, getting hit by pitches. So at practice, he let everyone but Albert throw at him. He just stood there and took pitch after pitch off his shoulders and chest and legs, and came to practice the next day with bruises all over his body. But certainly that team had that toughness, and we had a heck of a lot of fun. And we also knew we were pretty darn good, and we weren't afraid to play.
All we had to do was push it. 3 runs and game over.
Yes. Yeah. And Jack and Zach have already thanked a lot of people, and certainly they all deserve it. A few others, Zach mentioned Louis. I still remember Grant Myers and the Don Hess of the world that helped start the Booster Club, and we certainly had every game supporting us. And certainly growing up, going to Canton-Galva games, whether it be football or basketball, was a highlight of my week. I look forward to that. That's what I look forward to every week. And we had that then when we played. And, I think a while after we left and graduated, that pride in this community and school kind of left for a while. And it's certainly great to see it back. And I love coming back to football games now and seeing the stands back and seeing that. So, certainly great to see.
I used to keep a paper in my billfold that had wins and losses. For these guys, they just didn't play baseball. I was like, what, 5 and some years before wins, maybe. That one time we beat Canton-Galva. Remember that? In the playoffs, got a slider. And I think Eckersley was throwing, Justin Eckersley was throwing that game. Eric Norson behind the plate. But anyway, when these guys come in, I was probably 20 and 80 or something like that. I eventually got to 500 after 2 or 3 years with these guys. So it was fun. It was a blast.
There seriously are a lot of stories, some of which are a little inappropriate. But when you're dealing with 14 to 18-year-old kids, remember, it's tough to remember these kids as 14 and 18, and nothing in between, I imagine. But it is tough to look at them and see how great they've matured. It's tough because I know that I'm getting older. And to be honest with you, it really sucks. Nobody wants your opinion. All they want is they want you to give a memory. And like I was telling Mark, I don't even remember what color socks I had on. So my preparation for this has been tremendous. And we do appreciate your service. Thank you very much. Wherever you are, please take care. I hope you're not dealing with anything in Afghanistan. And if that's the case, God bless you. Thank
I'm just going to tell a couple of tough stories myself. I was just a kid at the time. I was 24. So I was much older than these guys.
Still on your parents' insurance.
Yeah, probably. I still got my dad's car. But just in practice, I'd always get the catch for some reason. I still have this thing right here on my hand for catching 96 and 97 mile basketball. Some of the toughest things I remember, this guy was a bat. He took one right here, and somewhere on his arm. He's just standing there, and he takes it. I'm sitting there waiting for him to cry or something. He just kind of looks at it. That's a huge. I mean, it's already black. I was like, holy cow. And then I think it was Bo. We were in the gym one day. You were pitching, and Aaron was catching. We were working on third downs to second. And Aaron throws it down, and Bo turns right in the middle of the back. And Bo just kind of shakes it off. No big deal. But just watching stuff like that made an impression even on me. But a lot of it came from Joe over there, my Joe story. Again, I was a kid. I wore glasses at the time. Still should. But, And we're at David. And the game, it had been an interesting evening the whole time. Their coach, I remember blind the entire time, and Joe was getting tired of it. The game comes to an end, and he gives me one of these. Take your glasses off. What? I said, take your glasses off. It might get rough. I'm going to start something with it later. We walk out there. I don't remember exactly. It didn't ever come to blows, but I'm sitting there thinking, walking out there, thinking, okay, what am I getting into?
Here's what they would do. This year, they come out here and they shake their hand like this. Shake like this. Limp wrist handshake. They walked off in. Like that hurt my feelings. No, I didn't have, I'm getting feelings better now. I didn't have a feeling
But, I mean, watching that guy, they got the mindset there. And he'd always tell the stories from college, and talking a lot about hitting. I mean, we hit the ball well, and that's essential, obviously, in baseball. It's just fun watching. Looking back 25 years, it's like, where did they go?
I do have one more. So actually, one of my favorite memories, or group of memories, is Zach and Albert both, and we had a lot of guys who could hit home runs on that team, but Zach and Albert in particular could hit some bombs, and there was nothing quite like the sound of those, and then the sound from the crowd after they're about halfway there and over the fence. My dad, Mark, and Chuck, and two of the other dads, they had a good sound that I'll always remember that.
Take me out of the whole game.
I walked away thinking I was going to shut up. I was a principal. Oh, just thinking stories about Bo as a pitcher. We'd have Zach come in, we'd have other people come in, of course Aaron come in, and then a left-hander that threw 12 miles an hour. And everybody's swing was so far off from these other guys that are throwing faster. And here comes Bo. Nobody knew how to hit him. And I'm thinking of a story about Aaron. With, I remember a kid, and I think he was either from Lyons or he was from Marion, and we played him at home. And Aaron threw his first pitch. And the kid, after Zach caught it, walked across the plate. Umpire said, "Son, you're going to be out." He said, "You're damn right I am." That's exactly what the kid said as he walked across the plate. The kid's throwing 96 miles an hour. You think I was heavy? Things that carry over from sports, I certainly hope, in what you're doing with your families, if you have girls, I'm sorry, that's terribly sexist, but treat them the same. Treat all your kids the same. And I think that's what's going to be the best thing. And knowing some of their children, it's obvious. They carried that season, the guys that hadn't graduated, carried that season over into the next football season. One thing that just keeps on popping up is when they played Sacred Heart. And we've already told that story. Every one of those kids that played baseball had a T-shirt on that said something not appropriate again to Joe Canacari, the coach. No, Tony Canacari, I'm sorry, Joe. And it was, like I said, it was just an adult thing for those boys, but they made sure they ripped off their jerseys and their shoulder pads as they went and congratulated the other team. Oh, by the way, we beat them pretty handful. And I think that carried over for them too. They just really wanted that in these kids. I think it was just amazing. And as students,
Hey,
No.
you got to tell them about the time you guys big party, senior night, down at Slime. And you come the next day, play, you didn't come to play.
That's 2 years.
That was 2 years. That wasn't this team.
No, you remember that?
Yes.
That was my team, and we don't need to talk about it.
Hey, did I get to stay with Saturday?
You did.
All right.
There is no reception for that. All right, then.
Well, nobody has talked about the state games, and we have the radio broadcast that I listened to. The first game, you blew them out, what, 12-0? That second game, to me, was the state championship game. 4 runs in the first inning, and then you let them catch up. It was raining. And it was raining. 4-4 going into the 7th inning. Bottom of the 7th, who was your first batter?
Drew.
And what did he do?
Walk. I think. Or did he get hit?
He got a hit, I think. Okay. Second batter,
You.
Was me, and probably hit the furthest ball I've ever hit in my life.
Yeah.
Got a double and drove Drew in for the winning run, and I never really got hurt playing baseball, but the worst I got hurt was in that dog pile. I came out with a concussion, and I still have the scar. I got cleated in the dog pile by somebody. Came out with blood running down the face.
We won that. It was like the Lakers off.
Yeah.
The final game.
anybody from the crowd have anything to add?
They were the manager.
Aaron, Cooper,
McManus.
Oh, Cooper. Cooper.
not Aaron, Terry.
Terry.
I don't know who the other. I didn't know you had.
We always have good managers.
Now I do. That's it.
I don't know.
I can't tell you that.
So anyway, we have a lot of pictures in the dog pile after the state championship, and that's very exciting for all of you.
The state championship is awesome. But to get to the state, when we won that game, where was that at? Strong City?
Yeah.
That was big time. Because this guy had, he threw the whole game, 7 innings. And we kicked their ass.
We did.
Well, I think that's one thing that's impressed me is that you had good pitchers, but you had a good team all the way around. And the fact that Bo was only a freshman and pitched almost every game, did he? I think you start out with Zach the first few innings, then Bo.
He started.
Okay, and then Aaron would finish. So nobody has anything else to add? Well, we have something for you. Teresa? You gonna bring them up? Sure.
Remember you couldn't take a t-shirt.
Linda, we need to thank you too. She did more of this, I think most of this on her own. You did get some help from getting your own. But you put this mostly together by yourself. Thank you.
It would take you back to your days in high school where you ate Kathy Baker's cookies. And I've been told that my nephew ate frozen cookies out of her freezer. So Kathy Baker's cookies for you. And we have a DVD of this game. And you have to realize that there's this grandpa film for them. So they're not complete games. You don't get a championship game, but it's something.
So on behalf of the Canton-Galva School Board, we'd like to honor the 96 Canton-Galva baseball team on their 25th anniversary by presenting this certificate in memory of the occasion. Congratulations. There you go.
All right.
Yeah. We want another team picture, and there's popcorn back there. Stay free to watch the video, listen to the ball game. That is exciting to have the broadcast. So, thank you for coming. Good memories, guys.